Hey everyone. Hey everyone, how are you doing? Um, Me, I've been better. But I know I'm going to feel better after this show. I want to make sure, that I got everything up and going. I want to talk today about what's going on in Canada and the rest of the world around land, real estate, and the economy. I'm going to do some readings for sure because I'm going to kind of be on holidays during during Easter. So I'm not going to be doing these lives every Christmas every single day. Sorry, I just got some news, so I'm a little off kilter right now. And before that, I want to prepare everyone for 2026. And because we've got a lot to think about. We got a lot to think about. We have invested, some of us, decades and decades to our lives. And we had the all-American dream, right? I know we're Canadian, but many of us had, I don't know why I've got some funky issues going on with my mic. So hopefully you guys can hear me. There we go. Okay. Hey, Earth. Hey, SC. Thank you for joining me. This means a lot. It means a lot for me to. This week will be my last week doing the lives until the new year. And we are going to take a look at what's going on with the land in Canada, but there is a whole global interest in what's going on in Canada. Thank you. It's a great topic for sure. And many of us have invested. We've bought land, we've purchased homes, we've saved money, we've invested a lot of money in our homes. And I'll tell you that I knew this was going to happen 4 years ago. How did I know? Did I know because I had done a lot of research, that I was well versed, that I'm highly educated, that I followed all the real estate trends and everything? No, I didn't. But my soul knew, because in 2020, in early December of 2022, and there was a few series of events that happened to set us up for the December as well, and I won't bore you with those details. I woke up and said, let's sell our home that we raised our children in that we housed over a dozen, not at the same time, international students in. A home full of memories, a home full of stories, a home full of hopes and dreams. And I, for what I don't know why, said, let's sell our home. It wasn't because it was the height of the real estate market, because it was. It wasn't because we were empty nesters, because we were. We basically were living very easily because we had a renter that was basically paying for a very low mortgage. You consider what mortgages are now, it was low. That's not why. Something in me said, let's sell the house. And now, with everything that I'm seeing going on in the world, I can see why that happened. Now, our intention was to purchase a year later, which we didn't. We continued to travel and live in a trailer, and travel and live in a trailer. And a year after that, our intention was, well, the market will go down, then we'll purchase. The market did go down. We did not purchase. Why? Because I was starting to look around going, I don't feel secure about purchasing right now. I don't feel secure about being a homeowner at this moment. This was a couple of months ago or so. A year before that, Just last year, I was literally telling my husband, if we don't move out of this tiny home that we're in, 600 square feet, in the middle of nowhere, on a highway, I'm going to lose my mind. I need to be in a neighborhood. I need to be where my friends are. I need to be able to walk the streets with my dog at night. I don't feel like I'm in a community. I don't feel connected with anyone. That has ended. I no longer desire that. I do desire it. Don't get me wrong. I do desire that. But I don't desire to purchase a home or land or real estate as a Ontarian Canadian in order to do that. I don't desire to do that now. So then the whole thing happened out in BC, and I started getting downloads right away. This is not going to look good. This is not going to end up well. This is not going to end up in the favor of everyone involved, even the government. There's going to be a long process. It's going to get messy. And I started going down rabbit holes and started doing some research. It may not get as messy as people think it will, but people will freak out because they will have a very difficult time understanding what's going to happen. There's going to be rumors, there's going to be lies, there's going to be deception, there's going to be speculation, but the whole world is watching, specifically the UN, because they want to know, how is Canada going to handle this? And Australia. Australia will be going through this as well. This is not my predictions. This is this is reported right now. You can look it up. So I started looking at Canada's chart astrologically. I wanted to know, and I'm going to be doing free readings, guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this, okay? And hey, everyone, there has been several predictions that Canada become the place that everyone would want to go into business with. No, I don't see that at all. We do live in a planet of injustice. I do not. Canada has been a place for businesses to invest in land. China bought all kinds of land, or Chinese bought all kinds of land in BC, built high rises and conference centers, hotels. There's a lot of Chinese business, Asian business in Vancouver area. In Ontario, there's a lot of American businesses that have invested, and I don't know the numbers, but yeah, absolutely. There have been several predictions that Canada becomes a place that everyone would want business in. No, they're going to pull out. What they will be interested in is our resources, because that's the only thing we got. That's the only thing we're going to have. The land is not secure, not as of now. Okay, not as of now. My predictions is that a lot of big businesses are going to pull out. So now I'm going, okay, let's look at my predictions of how I see the US. Trump will open up the borders and tell Canadians, come on over here. Come on over here. We'll make it easy for you. You got a Canadian passport? No problem. I don't know what's going to happen with Australia, but I looked at the history of Canada, and I wanted to look at Canada's birth chart. And it was difficult for me to travel through that because I think it's 1876 is Canada's birth chart, but it all happened long before that. It happened in BC. It happened in the gold rush in the United Kingdom came for the gold rush, long before 1867. And in Ontario, it happened even before that. And there was what they called the 7-Year War. So I looked at that chart, and that chart was more telling. Neptune is hitting it in 2026 to 2030. And that tells me that there will be no understanding, no rhyme or reason. There will be no expert, politician, banking system, the UN, lawyers, experts, economists will not be able to figure out what is going on when it comes to land in Canada with the Indigenous. And I do see that there's only 2 countries that are going to be deeply affected by this, and that's Canada and Australia. So when you think about it, what countries are not taken up? Like somebody said to me, well, there is no country that isn't that isn't built from immigration, that isn't built colonized. And yeah, there is. A lot of Europe, most of East Asia, they're not built on colonization. Only Canada and America is. We are all immigrants, all of us, or our parents were, or our grandparents were, or our great-grandparents were. We're not native to this land. And tons of countries still have a predominant, they have immigration. Yeah, they have a lot, but mostly they're, right? So those countries, they're actually going to become stronger. And that's why I've always predicted that the East Asian, South Asian countries, I shouldn't just say South, even the North Asian countries will profit from not only all of their people coming back to a more profitable way of living, because face it, they left because this was a better place for them. They didn't want to leave their culture. They didn't want to leave their country. Most of them predominantly left to have a better place to live, a better lifestyle. So that's what I'm seeing in the near future. And 2026 is going to kick that off. You would think this would affect United States as well because of their Indigenous people there. They don't have the same, do the research on it. They don't have the same. Plus, you look back on Texas, California, New Mexico, the first immigrants, the first so-called immigrants, if that's what you want to call it, are from Mexico. Like there was no borders at one time. Remember this, before the 1800s, there was no border. There was no Mexico in the United States. Like Mexicans were part of the United States right from the get-go. Right from the get-go. So they're native to parts of the United States as well. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I did the research, and before there was a border, state borders that was developed by Europeans, including UK, the Indigenous and then Native Mexican were all the same. It's like saying the Northern Territories in Canada, which there's the Inuit and the Eskimos, are not the same as natives. They are. That's the same thing. They're just in a different part of Canada. So, and Pierre Trudeau signed a flexible treaty, a flexible agreement. It kind of moved around and changed before it was nailed down. That included us accepting that the natives should be able to do with what they want, how they want with their land. My research is that the native land in, and there's a lot, 75% of BC is native land. I don't know how much the percentage of is in Ontario, but it's a massive amount in Ontario is originally native land and still deemed theirs. What they're upset with is that the government has been cash grabbing from it. They've been collecting all the taxes. They've been building all of the infrastructure that has given them money. You know, cities give the government money, provinces give them government money. We give the government money based on our living and our living circumstances. And the Indigenous have not gotten a penny from this. And they just they want their cut. Back pay too. So this is what's happening. We really don't know. We really don't know what's happening. I can see that they're in connection like this, the government and Indigenous, the higher up Indigenous, and the higher up us, which is our government, are in cahoots together. And I don't think that's going to end up well either. Just like I did a whole prediction years ago that China and Russia are in cahoots together, and it's not going to end up well either. So Mexicans are also mixed with Europeans. We give to match attention to our avatar. I see us like souls temporarily in this body, 100%. At the end of the day, we're just all souls and avatars, right? If you're highly evolved, like he is and I am, we don't see any of this stuff is all just bullshit, right? It's all just bullshit. It's just we make these stories up in our head. It's not a reality, but the world works on borders, on a monetary system, and it's a reality we can't ignore. Home ownership will drop 70%. Silver is jumping higher in price very steadily. Will it drop in 2026 at all or stay at this pace? It's going to skyrocket. Silver and gold will skyrocket. And I got the proof, SC, because I just read yesterday. First of all, we were told, my hair is freaking me out. We were just told recently about silver, and we've got our money from the sale of our house. So I said to my husband, buy a bunch of silver, buy not as much as we can, but a lot, which we started doing. And then I started feeling like, no, we need to buy more. So I told my husband, buy some more. We need more. And he's like, okay. Then yesterday, after I said that, I read that I'm trying to remember everything verbatim with silver. Samsung. You can do your research on this. I got, it was this morning, like my crystal. It was this morning, I got an email that, and it's a financial institution in Toronto, Ontario, that Samsung, which is South Korea, it's basically South Korea. It's their entire financial infrastructure, is designing a battery that no longer needs lithium, but it needs silver, and only silver. And they're going to build mass batteries as well. That's silver. And Tesla apparently is all in. The United States is all in. They want these batteries. And the thing is that they're saying this is a temporary solution because we're going to run out of silver. But it's a 10-year solution until they figure out another energy source, another battery source, which they already have now, but they want to use resources and land because that's what makes the world go round, money and financially, because running a battery off of water doesn't work. We would run out of water though, wouldn't we? No, we could recycle the water. So anyways, my point is that's why silver is going to skyrocket. So buy now and sell in that short period of time. This article basically said when they've mined all the silver, which they will do in a short period of time, and you can't just wait till more is mined because mining silver takes a long time. If you find a new spot in Ontario to mine silver, it could take 5 years just to build the mining and the shafts and do all that before you'll even get any silver out. Okay. Copper could grow in value too. Yeah. So silver is the way to go right now. And if you can, buy as much. And apparently this article says to buy bars in it as well. So TikTokers, if you hang in there, I will be doing free readings. I will do free readings. So whoever's interested in having a free reading done, and ask me exactly what do you want to talk about? What exactly do you want your question to be? Don't just say, what's my future? I want to know an exact question because that's the best way that I can help you. Or you can just give me your birth date and I will just talk about who you are. Right? I'll talk about who you are. So there is a financial collapse in the United States, and that's because the way Pluto and Capricorn is happening. And then there is a collapse in power and a financial collapse. Because what I'm seeing is an exchange in the financial powerhouse in the world. And the exchange of the financial powerhouse is going to go back to the East. That's where all the rich people will come. Yes, there is a mix of Europeans, but I think it's more Spanish, right? In Mexico, it's more the Portuguese, and Spanish. I thought Portuguese is a lot in Brazil as well. It'd be interesting to know what that mix is prior to whenever Mexico became Mexico. And what comes around goes around. I'm sorry, but I think this is a beautiful exchange called karma. And if there has been wrongdoing, doesn't matter who did it. There's no blame. It's not about that. Oh, mix of avatars. Avatars. Oh, explain that, CRB. I gotta have you on. We need to do a live. I gotta have you on, and you can explain. What do you mean a mix of avatars? And karma has to play itself out. It's the yin and the yang. It's a balance of the negative and the positive. And as you know, what does the Bible say? That the fathers will reap the sins. The sons will reap the sins of their fathers or their forefathers. Something like that. Yeah. And you could be the most amazing, wonderful, loving person in the entire world, but you're going to be that person that also plays out the karma. Until we are without borders, without a monetary system, and without the need to stake land and claim it as our own, but to work in harmony with one another. November 17th, 81. Tell me what to expect the next year, please. Now, I just said I'm not going to just do like, what do I expect next year? I need an exact question. And if you have your time of birth, that'll be helpful too. Okay, if I see something significant, I'll definitely tell you that stands out. But if you have your time of birth, that's okay, Jackie. If you have your time of birth, that would be totally cool. Sorry, I'm in a mood. I got bad news today. So I got concerning news today. So I'm a little bit worried right now, but that's okay. We all mix. We are all a mix of different avatars. I have in my DNA a mix of nations. Yeah, we all have. I've got, according to my ancestry.com, I have Scottish, Irish, Hungarian, maybe Polish. 6:40 a.m. Will my health improve the next year? I also should I leave? Leave what? Leave your marriage? Leave your country? Leave your job? Okay, let me look this up. And I want you guys to ask me global questions too. Please ask me some global questions, some universal questions, some meaning of life questions. I really want you guys to ask me those kind of questions. CRB, you can come up with something. I'm going to be live in about 3.5 hours on a show called Spaced Out Radio. Spaced Out Radio, my midnight till 3 o'clock in the morning. Woohoo! But I am really excited on Spaced Out Radio. It's out in BC, so it's 9 o'clock Pacific time zone. Come in, it's live, just like this one is. Come and stop by. I would love to see you guys in the chat room. If you can, depending on where you live, if you can stay out that late. Will your mom let you stay out that late? Okay. And I'd love to see you guys there. That would be totally cool. So 6:40. My last client I worked with was in Norway. I'm assuming you're not in Norway. Okay. Marriage, she says. People want to follow along. You see, people are going to watch. They want to know your drama and they want to follow along with your drama. What's the results that Holly's going to give you around what your situation is? So she wants to know if she should leave her marriage, and she's got some health difficulties and wants to know if they're going to improve. You're not going to like what I have to say, Jackie, because this takes a lot of effort and work. It really does. And I know I've walked this line. I've had these challenges too. And that is, you're very, very, very sensitive to dairy. And I don't care if you tell me I've had dairy tests, I've had lactose tests. I only have milk in the morning with my coffee. I don't care about any of that. According to your chart, your medical astrology, you should not have dairy. It's also creating some thyroid issues. Now, that's what's causing inflammation. It's causing mood fluctuation. Again, I'm not a medical professional. Do your own due diligence. And the only way that you're going to know whether this is true or not is if you 100% eliminate dairy from your diet. And you've got to look at all the ingredients and everything. No whey powder, no casein. Like you go to Starbucks and get coconut milk, it's got casein in it. In the United States, I think it is, Costco's chicken that they make, rotisserie chicken, has casein on the outside of it. So you kind of have to just go fruit, vegetables, and meat that you cook at home, okay? Even some of the sausages that you buy at the store have milk in it, milk ingredients and wheat ingredients. So you got to go 100% free for at least 6 weeks. You'll notice a difference in 2 weeks. For at least 6 weeks, preferably 3 months, and then reintroduce maybe sheep cheese, maybe goat cheese, maybe European hard cheeses. Okay, by then all of the histamines will be out of your system. All the inflammation will be out of your system. You can't even have one little speck in that 6 weeks, because if you do, all the histamines come back and all the inflammation comes back. Then you'll know, and you'll thank me later. You're also very sensitive to sugar. You got a sweet tooth. Combine ice. Get it. You know what? If you like your ice cream, get yourself a Ninja Creamy and get a bunch of coconut milk, real coconut milk, 100% coconut milk. No gum gar in it, no phosphates in it, just coconut milk, or make your own coconut milk and make your own ice cream. I do it. It's yummy. I'm going to have some after this. Okay, so those are your inflammation. It's causing lower sciatic nerve issues, lower back issues, liver issues, and it's causing inflammation. It's causing skin issues. It's causing blood issues like high blood pressure and high blood sugar, and even issues around your female reproductive system, but that's starting to end. So as soon as you do that, and especially the refined sugar, you'll be good. You'll be golden. As for marriage and relationship, holy moly, I've been having the lower sciatic pain. Yeah, it's causing this numbness and tingling down your leg and lower back. So that's all inflammation. Okay. When, like a lot of people will say, well, I don't have a dairy problem because we associate a dairy problem with flatulation, right? Like it's like you got to run to the bathroom and you can't get there fast enough, or an enormous amount of bloating and gas and, diarrhea. But those are the lucky ones because their body tells them right out, flat out, that they can't deal with dairy. The unlucky ones are people like us who get little tiny, eventually build up symptoms that we go to the doctor for and they give us medication for it instead of telling us that it's gluten or dairy or high sugar or whatnot. Is almond milk okay? Yeah, almond milk is good, but look at the ingredients because there's a bunch of junk in those ingredients too. So I wouldn't want you to, uh, eliminate one poison for another poison. You can get little machines are like $30 from Amazon, and you can put your own almonds in there and make your own almond milk, or you can get a nut bag and you can make your own almond milk, or just go to the health food stores and make almond milk. But almond milk has a lot of junk in it, has a lot of sugar, a lot of fillers, a lot of thickeners in it as well. As for leaving a marriage, you've got Uranus going through your 7th house of marriage. Your marriage is very karmic, and there's a lot of challenging karmic lessons that you're learning through your marriage. And it has a lot to do with communication. See, you put up with a lot. You deal with a lot. You shove a lot under the carpet. You'd rather suffer in silence. And when you're angry is when it comes out. And when you're angry and it comes out at that point, and you've been holding it in for a while, it's nasty. You're sarcastic, you're witty, you're smart, you're dramatic, you explode. And your partner is not sure how to deal with that. It doesn't even know where this is coming from. And you're like, really? You don't know where this is coming from? Because I've been obviously emotional about it for a while. But you see, you forgive easily, you brush a lot underneath the carpet, and you're easygoing. You give them enough rope to hang themselves, basically. I'd have to do a reading between you and that partner. That would make it easier. So go to askhollyhall.com, get a little mini reading done for $33, and put both your birth dates in there, and I can give you all kinds of answers. I've saved a lot of marriages, including my own. I've saved a lot of marriages. There's not always necessary to get to this point, but you do have Uranus going through the 7th house, so you really have just the person being in your vicinity is getting on your nerves. You can't stop your mouth from being sarcastic. Wait till next month comes when all these planets move into Sagittarius. You're gonna be hilarious. Not to them, but the sarcasm is gonna be flying left, right, and center. And sarcasm also means this need to be right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Haha. Yeah, I'm sarcastic. You're funny as hell, though. Very funny. So hang in there. Let's take a look at what's going on YouTube. I want you to go on YouTube, guys. Go on my YouTube channel and go into the chat room there. Cow's milk is made for cow babies, not for us. I kicked this out a long time ago. Good for you, folks. Tonight, link to Holly's interview. Oh yeah. Do you have that, Randy? I don't have the link, but I'm soul. Let me put the link to my interview tonight. It's on, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. I got so much on my mind tonight. Spaced Out Radio. Just look up Spaced Out Radio on YouTube. It's on there. I can't found this karmic woman of my life. Karma is. I can't found. I don't know what that means. Easy way is make almond milk yourself. And almonds and dates. Yeah, good point. Almonds and dates. Can you link, Holly? Yeah, let me see if I can find it. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to look for it on on YouTube, and it's gonna start playing stuff. That's my problem. I can't just go. If you guys could go look for Spaced Out Radio and link it for me, that would be totally cool. Out Radio. There it is. Now let me find me. There's mine. Okay, let me get the link. Share. Copy. Okay, I found it. I did it. Yeah, I did it. So that'll be here, and I'll put this in the post too when I link this as well. And you guys can go into my Ask Holly Hall on my YouTube channel right now, and you can see the link there. If you've got any questions, write down your birth date and your birthplace and your birth time, and I can answer any specific question that you have. August 2005, what should I do and don't next year? No, I need a specific question. Okay. What do you want to do or don't? What do you want to manifest? Have? Okay. What do you want to manifest? And I'll tell you exactly how to do it and what to do. But none of this fluffy stuff. And the universe works this way too. Okay. The universe doesn't want you to just go, can you just tell me what to do? It wants to know exactly what you want to do. Ask and you shall receive. Do you know why they say that? Because you have to know the question is more important than the answer. If you have your time of birth, that's helpful. If anybody wants to put anything down in the future, it's very helpful. Things to avoid. There's nothing that's standing out, so you're going to have to ask me something specific. There's nothing standing out on what you should avoid. I don't know your time of birth, so I don't see any things going through any house placements at all. Okay, so we'll go on to March. Thank you for that, and hopefully you've got a specific question. Will I move north next year? Oh, you know what? The other one, oh, no, that was relationship. That's a good specific question. So let's look at March 17th. I'm going to be on Spaced Out Radio tonight at 9 PST, 12 midnight EST. No, I don't do PRs. Sorry. I don't answer any PRs. I can't believe how many people ask me about PRs. It's like literally that's almost like the number one question. And I should put a banner saying I don't answer those questions. 12:38 a.m. And she wants to know, Paula wants to know, March 17th, 72, if they should move north in Ontario, Canada, next year. Absolutely. February is very good timing. February is very good timing. And that is, yeah, February. Perfect timing. January, February. There might even be an opportunity for you now as we speak. There's an opportunity. Did you just get an opportunity, Paula, to move up north next year? And that's why you're asking me? Because if you did, it is something that you should take, and you're going to start doing the legwork and the understanding of what needs to be done in January. Yeah. And the move, if it happens, if you choose, will be in June of 2026. Okay. Good job. Good question. Thank you. Yes, I'm planning on winning a home in February. Manifest. Okay. This doesn't quite say if that's the answer, but that's good. Manifest away. Will I sell my property? Wendy. Okay. So Wendy is a client of mine, and she's February 21st, 62. Wendy's got a great story, and I'm not going to divulge anything because confidentiality is key. But what I will say is there was a sadness in a situation, and after we had our first 1-hour session, I'd done so many sessions with her before, the sadness in that situation changed, and for the better. And I have told people that my clients, and I see this with my clients all the time. I could tell you story after story after story, and I won't bore you with it. And I'm saying this because things manifest as we're talking. We'll be talking about having a difficult relationship with a child who goes to their bedroom every single night. This is a true story. And never talks to the parent. And the mother asking me, "What's going on? Why is he going to his room? He's 9 years old. He never comes out." And we talk and we talk and we talk about it in that hour. I tell her everything about this soul, this child's soul, what's happening in his soul, the torment, the personality traits that he has, how he deals with trials and tribulations in life, so much different than the mother does, and how the mother does changes. And then the next day I get an email saying, "My son came out of his room today and told me what was wrong." After over a year of this, and I say, "I know, it's crazy, this stuff happens when we co-create together." And I tell people when I work with clients, it's me, it's you, and it's some kind of third freaking energy out there. And I don't know what it is, but it works, and this third energy field comes in and starts manifesting, as long as you're not stuck. Like, I get clients that are very stuck. They're angry. If you haven't had a reading with Holly, I highly recommend it. Thanks. Thanks, Wendy. February 21st, 60, February 21st. Oh, yeah. I remember now because you're born on the same not the same year. Not the same year, but the same date as my dad. Wendy, do you know the time of your birth? I could look it up. Being stuck is the worst feeling. Yeah, so what happens, what I mean by being stuck, Hiwa, is when you're stuck that you're stubborn, like you won't accept any other way. Like if I say to a client, you have to leave your son alone. He needs time to process things. He's really having difficulties in school, and he's not getting along with some friends, and there's some gossip going on. And he feels shame and blame right now, and he needs to process. And if that parent goes, "No, no, this is not the way," he has to listen to my rules. He has to listen to me. He has to come out for dinner every single day. He has to do the dishes. He has to tell me what's wrong. And I'm going to be powerful about that until he does. I don't care what you say, Holly. That is not acceptable. Well, good luck to you. Then she shut off all of the dialogue that the universe could possibly have. Right? Lafayette, I don't answer those questions either. I could make so much money off of answering questions that I don't believe are necessary to answer. For instance, 3 times this week, 3 times, I had very regular clients ask me about specific health issues, and I do answer a lot of health issues, and what type of procedure they should have, and what dates they should have this procedure. I was able to do the dates, but I did not make the decision on the procedure they should have. That's up to them. Would they choose? And I said, I'm not. She was willing to pay me extra. And I said, "I'm not going to answer that question for you. That's up to you." I'll have clients say, "Should I divorce my husband?" And I'll say, "I'm not going to tell you if you're going to divorce your husband or not. Will my mother pass away by May?" I'm not going to tell you whether your mom's going to pass away or not. I will tell you what's going on with your husband and where there's conflict and dates that conflict will be resolved, whether it's you guys decide to part ways or you work it out. But I'm not going to tell you if you should leave somebody or not. I will give you a date that if these things don't get resolved, you're probably going to hightail it out of there at that time frame. You're going to put your foot down. Let's put it. I won't say you hightail it out there. I'm like, you're going to put your foot down by June of 2026 if these things aren't resolved. And so that putting your foot down might be, you can take this marriage and shove it and pack your bags and leave. Or it could be, I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. Change. Because a lot of people, they want change without asking for change. They don't really want change, right? So selling your house, this one's sketchy. Okay, so let me make sure that I've got your question correct. "9:30 a.m. Will I sell my property?" First of all, and this is just logic, you gotta go under price. If you don't have a real estate agent, email me. I've got a good one for you in Windsor. Um, it's an interest. Okay, so if you're going to do it, you have to do it before a specific time, before the end of June. And there is the possibility of it selling in March, mid-March. Okay? Investment property, Northern Ontario. Okay. Well, that's what I see is mid-March. But do it before June, end of June. Otherwise, it's not gonna. You're not gonna be able to sell it after that. Not for another year. Then you'll have to wait till this late spring of 2027. If I write the proposal to the IMF, and they sponsored the app, I don't know what you're talking about. You need to give me your birth information anyways, because I do astrology, and I don't know if that's in there. But yeah, if you can do your birth information. But I don't know. I can tell you when there's a favorable time for something, but I'm not quite sure what any of that means. I don't need to know what it means. I can tell you if it's business related, I can tell you if it's a success in business around that. I forgot to turn on my little lights. If you guys got answers, if you guys have questions for what's going on in the world, in the universe, get this book. I wrote this in the fall of 2026. Oh my gosh, Holly. Got a lot on my mind. I wrote this in the fall of 2019. Source said you got to write this book. Don't know why, because it's not like it went flying off the shelves. But they said I had to write this book. They gave me the title, told me what to put on it. I think I'm going to change the cover. And it's like conversations with God, but it's not with God. It's with Source, even though the first 13 questions is about God. But I'll give you a breakdown of it if you want to take a screenshot. You can get it on Amazon. It's a very small book, but it's got a lot of information in it. And it's got, in the beginning, we are stardust, the meaning of us, a place like heaven, karma, purification and suffering, healing in past lives, the meaning of you, the pursuit of happiness, stress, depression and mental health, love and soulmates, reincarnation, charlatans, meaning of life, evolve, destruction and Atlantis, education system, law of attraction, prayer and source, guides, angels, aliens, oh my, questions from people like you, final word, and then I got extra information how chakras are portals to awakening. Each chakra is a portal to, it explains it, attachment versus detachment, and the Four Noble Truths. I had a really bad editor so the editing isn't the best, but most people didn't even notice. I would say, I apologize for this section, and they're like, I didn't even notice. It's a great book. Eyes Wide Open. This was before COVID. This was before we even knew COVID existed. It did get launched in January, but I wrote it and was starting the processing of the editing and all being done. It just didn't get launched because there was complications with Amazon because it's self-published. And the source gave me the time. And how many times have you heard eyes wide open throughout the last 5 years? Eyes wide open. Our eyes are wide open now. Everybody's eyes are wide open, right? And that was my subject. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to sign off now. If there's any specific questions around the universe or thank you. Get the book. It's only like $15. You can get it. You can get the Kindle version and the soft cover. I think it's $15 or $12 American, maybe. I don't even know. I have no clue how to see if I even made any money off of it. I mean, I did. I know I sold about 100 and something books. But when I go on Amazon, I'm like, did you guys pay me? I don't know. I don't even know. And then you get it, when you get it in your bank, it just kind of says from some unknown source, right? Is the UK going to war? That's a great question. Is UK going to war? Somebody asked me that today. I had lunch with a friend, and she's very well versed in political jargon. I'm not, but she always like matches up her political jargon with some of my. And she'll say blah 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 blah. What do you think? What are you getting? What are you picking up? So I'll say. So she said, "Are we going to go to war? Is Canada going to go to war? Is the world going to go to war? Is this war?" I said, "No, there is no war. I don't see war. I see, well, obviously some countries are in a physical war. I see a political war. I see political war. What does that mean? I don't see a civil war. I do see civil unrest in the UK, but I don't see a physical war. Okay. Hi, Lily Kim. I don't see a physical war in the UK, but I do see protesting, probably I do see some harm being done in those physical protesting, being at the wrong place at the wrong time and physically being hurt because you're, kind of like the protesting that happened in Ottawa, the people that got physically hurt, trampled on by horses. But no, I don't see the UK going to war, but there is going to be, just like they're going to kind of reflect Paris, France, where they're just going to protest against their government. What about my astral experiences? I had like kid way I was blocked after the age of 14. You can have them again, but you have to dedicate. If you already had them before, specifically before the age of 14, you can ask. I think that was the guy that's going to be interviewing me, so I'm going to have to wait for a message. You're going to have to, CRB, ask yourself every single night in lucid state and every single morning when you're in lucid state to have those experiences again. But if you're scared in any way, you're not going to have them you're not going to have them until you can get rid of the fear. I'm a little scared of certain things, so I don't think I'm going to see an alien. I don't think I'm going to see a ghost because there's a part of me that's like, ugh, I think I'd be a little scared. But practicing you can astral travel. You can practice astral traveling. I wanted to do that too, but a part of me is scared. I don't want to leave my body. Okay, well then do it. If you're not scared of anything, do it. Lucid dream. Look up astral traveling. Practice. You can do it again. listening to certain frequencies, having frequencies around you. You can do it again for sure. Okay, everyone, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you tomorrow. I got to stay up late tonight, and hopefully we'll see you over there, over there on YouTube, on Spaced Out Radio. I'll be live at midnight Eastern Standard Time. Namaste.